Hello and welcome to the GSCC podcast, a business podcast for business in the Greater Springfield region. Proudly powered by the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, I'm your host, Matt Taylor-Farrington from Purple Bunny Marketing, and today I'm joined by Paula from P&L Accountants.
Hello.
And we're going to do this episode a little bit differently because obviously we won the Media and IT Award as well. And this is an interview about awards. And Layla wouldn't let me get out of it. She made me have to be interviewed. She's like, no, you have to get interviewed too. So we're going to turn this one and you're going to ask me some questions in reverse as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we'll dive straight into it. First of all, how did you feel when your business was announced as the winner for the Professional Services Award?
It was an incredible feeling because we've won this award a few times now, so a bit of a staple in the local community. But we were up against some really incredible businesses, so it was just an honour to be sort of a finalist. We didn't really think that we'd win this year, so for me to win for my team, especially this year, was incredibly amazing actually.
Yeah, congrats on your win.
Thank you.
Yes.
But obviously I'm not the only winner. So you guys won the Media and IT Award. So how did it feel for you guys to win this award?
Actually was an incredible shock for us, to be honest. I don't know if anyone saw it on our socials, but I was actually having a drink as they were announcing the winners. So that's how much I didn't expect it, to be honest. And like you, there was a lot of great competition, I guess, in our award as well as to who was up. Great businesses, I know them as well. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock, but bittersweet for us. You know, we've had a lot of wins in the last couple of years as a business that we've been very excited about, whether it's winning the award, whether it's, we picked up a major account with Anytime Fitness and things like that. And so for us, it was just kind of cementing, I guess, for us, what we've been doing and what we know our business has been delivering for other business, basically.
Yep. So. Amazing.
All right. So what does winning this award mean for you and your business?
Yeah, so we're a small team of 8. So for us to win, it's really just reaffirms that what we do, we're doing well, which is great. We're putting out into the community what the community wants as accountants and professionals.
Yes.
So for us to win the award, it just reaffirms that what we're doing really well. We're present and for my team as well, off the back of the year that we've had, just gives them that recognition for all of their hard work.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
And what about you guys? So what's winning this award mean for you and your business as a whole?
Similar to yourself, I think it was a lot of recognition. We're a small team as well. We have a team of about 6 staff in our business to deliver what we do for various clients in various industries. So I think it was just great to have that accolade and that recognition after 4 years for our business, and in particular for our team to kind of understand that the path we're on and what we're doing, and we are headed in that right direction. So I think it was a very great night. We had the whole team there. Nick was obviously filming on the night as well, which was great, and we're enjoying that partnership as well with the Chamber.
Yeah, it's great when the whole team can sort of be there. Smaller teams usually make that a little bit easier to manage. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I think it was good for them to see as a team that all the things that sometimes go on in the background of running a business, they were kind of like, okay, it's worth it. We know what's going on and where we're headed. So, it was great. I think the team was very thoroughly impressed, and we took them out for a celebratory lunch at another time as well.
Good to be in front of the camera maybe for once rather than behind it.
Yes. All right. So how do you think this recognition will impact your business moving forward, both in terms of growth and reputation within Greater Springfield?
So I think, again, reaffirming what we do it well, but I think it will lead to a lot more growth for us. We've won this award a few times now. So some of the feedback that I'd had in the past, over the last 12, 18 months, was with some of my medical journeys that I'd gone on, they weren't sort of sure whether I was going to be around. And so to be able to be recognised for doing something great off the back of some of those things just really, really reaffirmed that. We've got a great team in place. We've sort of always stood by our ethos where we don't outsource any of our work. All my staff are homegrown local residents, so they live here and they live, work and play here. So it allows us to grow and give our businesses that we work with exactly what they want, because we We
Yes.
understand what they need. So I really feel that recognition of that reward will allow us to sort of really build on that and take our business to the next level.
Yeah, agreed.
And yeah, so what about you guys in terms of moving forward? What does the next sort of 12 months or beyond look for you guys?
Well, I think, when you win an award, it kind of does highlight and showcase your business, which is great. And I guess we're going to, as a marketing agency, do the right thing and leverage off of that award as best we can in market to tell people that we did win that award and obviously give them a bit of confidence in market about our business. I think in terms of growth and reputation in the greater Springfield region for us, that's kind of been a focus for us over the last 2 years. Obviously, we've been in business for some time. We've done work in various areas. We've got a lot of clientele all over the place, from Jimboomba to Brisbane to the middle of Ipswich and then Springfield. And we have a lot of clients here in Springfield too. 2 of our staff are here from Springfield. So it kind of just made sense for us to kind of put more of a focus in that Springfield region. Plus, it is a massive growth for the market at the moment. There's a lot of people moving out this way. There's a lot of businesses opening in this direction. And we just saw it as an opportunity as a business to be seen in that space and to be able to support and help local business grow. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Definitely. All right. So obviously every success story does come with its challenges. And I guess what were some of your biggest challenges that you faced in the last year and how did you overcome them?
Yeah. So this question is obviously very relevant in me and my business. So January last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yes.
So business is hard enough as it is. Running a business, it's not for the faint of heart. Add in a chemo journey and, surgery in that makes it a lot tougher when there's a small team.
Yes.
We don't do anything by halves, at P&L Accountants though. So I still looked at the opportunities that our business could. I wanted to reassure my staff that they had job security.
Yep.
So we implemented a bookkeeping division March last year, so we're over 12 months into that, which is a very, very successful division that we've got, a dedicated bookkeeping team. We've grown our team to a number of 8, so again, all local. And we've managed to do that by, like I said, also shying away from some of the pathways of outsourcing and keeping it all local. And as a result, even though I was the key person and the directors going through a breast cancer journey, we still grew the business by over 25%, which I think is an incredible achievement for us. So
100%,
so we had huge challenges, but we conquered them, we moved past them, and we didn't let it sort of define or, hold us back. So I'm very, very incredibly proud with my team and their achievements that they've, done to date and will continue to grow with. So,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think anyone who goes through that sort of medical challenge on top of running a small business, I mean, every day businesses face challenges. Yep. I think is a massive feat for you. And I think the fact that you managed to still continue to grow your business and maintain that growth is a massive achievement for you. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
So tell me about your challenges. I feel like you should have gone first, to be honest, like if it was a competition.
No. Look, definitely not a challenge like yourself. I guess for us, challenges are constant in our business. We're in an industry in particular that is constantly evolving and growing. Trends are changing constantly. I mean, if someone had said to me, especially when I broached the idea with the team and we kind of spitballed it, that we would do a podcast and that I'd be spending time in a booth, in a studio, wherever we are, in a room at McNamara Law recording podcasts, I probably would have laughed and said no. But we now do that as part of a function of our business. We now support clients with their podcasts. So I guess, challenges, I wouldn't say we've had anything key specific challenge that we've had, but I guess it's just an ever evolving challenge of how can we grow and adapt our business to ensure that we're helping other businesses grow and adapt when it comes to the way they deliver their social media. The technology behind websites is constantly changing. And securities especially as well. We work in a field, everyone thinks it's all fun and games in marketing and we get to go and film some silly social media videos, but there is a serious side to our business where we make sure that, your website is fundamentally working, is able to deliver inquiries, is able to connect people and provide information. And we have to make sure that they're delivered in a secure way. So, we partner with an amazing hosting partner in Ipswich called Kinetics to ensure that we can deliver the best security for business. But yeah, I guess there's not one key challenge. There's just always little challenges, I guess, that hit us throughout the year.
Yeah. But I think it's an incredible thing because I would agree with you that 12 months ago, podcasts weren't a common thing from the small little man. It was something that was too expensive. It was out of reach. So the fact that you've been able to package that and deliver that well to the small man, I think that's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I think podcasts are definitely evolving for people. And I think as more people do them, I think what will happen is the price to do that and the tech around it will improve inevitably, as it always does.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so winning an award like this can open doors. What are your plans for the future and how do you intend to build on this success?
Yeah. So we want to keep doing what we do well because we do it really well. Like I said, I've got a great team in place that will allow me to sort of build on that. And we really want to take our business to the next level. So one of the things that I've always lacked as a business owner is time. We're all very, very time poor. I've now implemented a lot of strategies in place to sort of give myself back that more time so I can invest into the business as well as the community. So some of the things I'm really passionate about is education in the business space. So one of my goals for the next 12 months would be to sort of start implementing some workshops that I could work with small businesses in terms of their tax planning and business focusing on cash flow management and stuff, because there's a lot of information out there, but I think a lot of businesses can get their attention gets lost in the detail, they can't see the forest for the trees. So just to be able to simplify that and do some quick, easy workshops and how that's going to look is I now have that focus that I can actually dedicate that time to. So building what we do well and take it to the next step.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Finding time in business sometimes is very hard, but you have to be able to set that time aside for future planning and growth. Definitely,
absolutely.
So, all right.
What's the next 12 months look like for Pebble Bunny?
We've got a few adventures on the horizon. Actually, we've been kind of working on an app in the background to improve social media scheduling for business. One of the fundamental things we find is businesses having to go to a offshore product who then charges you in USD or charges you in a different currency, and suddenly what looked like was going to cost you $20 per social media channel is now suddenly costing you $120 a month when you start connecting all of your channels and you start worrying. So we're looking to bring a more cost-effective model into Australia. For Australians. We actually worked with Queensland Government. We actually got a grant to deliver this product.
Oh, incredible.
So we're working on that. So we hope to launch before the end of the year that platform, as well as something that I've identified with business and working with a lot of small businesses. Small business, until they get really fired off, can't really engage a marketing agency because we are a little bit more expensive on that side. Obviously, we've got overheads as well to cover, but it can be quite costly. So we're looking to introduce a model whereby someone can actually subscribe to our service on a really low monthly base, where we actually provide them training to do it themselves, but do it effectively and properly.
Awesome.
So we actually were going to launch this a while back, but as you said about time, sometimes time doesn't happen, and I've been able to, in the last 6 to 9 months in my business, like you, develop a lot of procedures and processes with my team and kind of develop my team a little bit more that allows me to step more into that role. So we are going to be able to deliver that as more of a training. So it is called the Hoppers program, and the idea behind it is that people can subscribe in a small business capacity to get that support. They'll have access to our team via a Facebook private group where they can ask questions in the moment, things like that. So yeah, definitely. I'm excited to launch both of those and get them off the ground. Yeah.
That's awesome. And can I just ask one question?
Yes.
The name, Purple Bunny, is there...
We get asked this a lot. So my business partner and I, I'm the face of the business. She likes to sit in the background, always has. When we first decided to start the business, which we did during COVID, we were sitting around the back of her place, wine, cheese crackers.
Best names come from that.
Yeah, correct. And it was actually her daughter who came screaming down the hallway because she couldn't find her purple bunny. And she had this little purple bunny toy thing that she likes and she wanted it, and that just kind of eventuated. And before you knew it, we'd spitballed a whole business and a brand and developed the whole concept. So nothing elaborate or crazy like everyone thinks. It literally came from my business partner's daughter running down the hallway screaming. So
that's fantastic.
All right. So to wrap it up, I've got one last question for you, specific around the Professional Services Award. So in what way has your business excelled in delivering exceptional professional services over the last 12 months? And do you have an example of how you have prioritised client satisfaction?
Yep. So one of the biggest things was implementing the bookkeeping division. So we get that a lot because we're an accounting firm, so we're a team of accountants, and we were starting to do a little bit more and more day-to-day bookkeeping for our clients. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a very adamant about never outsourcing. I like to educate and provide a career for our locals. So I had to look at ways that I could do that cost effectively. So having an accountant do all the bookkeeping work is not a cost effective approach. So I looked at implementing our pure bookkeeping division and that we could then offer to our clients, that we could then do a full suite of services. So that has taken off and it's been really, really, really well received with all of our clients. The feedback has been fantastic. So that was just one of the things that we sort of went, well, we need to do this for the clients because that's what they're wanting, offering them that full suite of service, but also knowing that when they are talking to our bookkeeper, they're dealing with the bookkeeping, but their bookkeeper's been supported by a team of accountants that can bring in that. So you're actually getting a better service on both fronts all around. And so we obviously implemented that. And then some of the other things that we do is we are always checking in with our clients. Some things I do too well. So I know about 10 years ago, tax planning was a really hard thing to sell to clients, whereas now I'm booked out because I've obviously marketed that too well, and which is great because businesses are starting to take accountability of their own businesses, which is at the core of what I do. I love small business and having them understand those numbers. They'll never be as excited about the numbers as I am because that's what I do. But having them take accountability for their own business, it allows them to drive those business decisions. So we are always trying to check in with our clients and making sure that communication and that contact is an ongoing thing rather than just a once a year thing. So we support them either through that bookkeeping as well as the accounting, and then obviously into the tax planning and connecting those dots for them. So
Yeah, lovely. It's great. I think obviously in our business, having someone to do the bookkeeping is amazing so that you're not having to deal with that day to day, definitely. Especially when for our business, we're in a creative space, numbers and things like that don't excite me.
I like knowing how things work, so I will admit to playing with my own social media. I'm not doing it well, but I think sometimes I say we need to stay in our own lane, right? And that gives an opportunity for businesses to grow because, like you said, numbers aren't your thing. So you having someone that manages that allows you to still provide the effective data, allows you to work with that data with you actually not having to do it yourself.
Correct.
And I think the same can be said for my business, having someone like you guys do my social media and all this cyber security techie stuff. I just need to know that it works so that I can trust it. And I think when you said earlier about bringing that Australian-based platform in would be another thing, obviously from the security point of view as well, because we don't know what we're dealing with. It just looks shiny. So and
we don't know where our data is potentially going.
Correct. Yes. So I think that's fantastic in terms of what you guys are doing with that one.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now for you, Matt. So how has your business demonstrated excellence in the media and IT sectors over the past 12 months? Can you share some specific examples of what that looks like for you and innovative projects?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say the podcasting module has been one of our biggest successes. And a reason why I think is because as business owners, and we alluded to it earlier, we are time poor. So as we've just been able to do here for the GSCC podcast, in a space of say a 2-hour window, we've been able to shoot and produce, 5 episodes, which actually produces 5 to 6 pieces of content that go out onto socials. So what it's actually doing is streamlining that content process for people. It's allowing people to deliver content in a different way. And I think now that we're consuming it, I don't know about yourself, but if I scroll Instagram or TikTok, nearly every third or fourth one is a podcast in some form that I'm seeing. So it is becoming more common. So what we wanted to do is provide that service in a way that made it affordable and attainable for small business to utilise and businesses to use. And we're now seeing some really great successes. We do one in a real estate space for NGU in Ipswich. So much so now that Steve says to me, he goes, I had another bunch of people come through saying, we listened to your podcast. So it means that it's actually working. We know that the results are there and we can see it from the analytics, which is as much as I said before, I'm not a numbers person. When it comes to analytics of making sure something works, 100% I want to make sure the numbers are there. So we're definitely seeing the follows. You know, we're seeing record numbers of downloads at the moment. And I guess his podcast is very topical in his business because we are talking around what's happening in the real estate market, but we're also talking about those RBA announcements, which I guess are very topical for people. I guess for our podcast, we're starting to see a lot of growth in our space, which is great. We just interviewed an amazing gentleman who's worked with Jerry Seinfeld and done some work with him in the past, and he's an amazing marketer himself, and he saw our podcast and wanted to come on and talk and have a chat about the things that we do. So I think what it's doing is it's opening doorways for people in that space as well. So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing that we've done that's kind of changed, but I think the next two little products that we're about to launch will probably change that space again, basically. Yeah, definitely.
No, I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think also with the podcast, circling back to that just quickly, is we're very close-knit, especially with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. We're a very close-knit business community.
Correct.
So we want to listen about our own businesses because we know these people. So it's a fantastic way to know more about our businesses that's not just, you know, hand-delivered by what we're hearing. You know, we're getting to see it. I'd rather watch a podcast about one of our local businesses than someone in WA that I have no connection with. So, so no, I think it's fantastic.
And likewise, I think it's actually very powerful that what the Chamber has done. When I did the research, when we were having the initial chats with Chamber, there's not actually another chamber that I could find that was doing this. And I think it's a great way to deliver the message out to the general community, but also the business community about what Chamber is doing for business, but also what business is doing in the local area. So, I think hats off to Chamber for wanting to try something different and unique as well.
We do like to be trailblazers. Nothing wrong with that.
So I think it's great. And we're excited to be involved in it. And
we're excited to have you.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, well, that wraps it up for us here at the GSBC podcast. Make sure that you tune into the socials to stay up to date with all the latest business news from the Greater Springfield region.